President Trump just announced a 25% tariff on foreign-made vehicles.
Something serious just broke. And no, it's not a stock price or a headline. It's a business model. Stellantis, the auto giant behind Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram, is halting production at multiple plants in the US and Mexico. Over 900 workers are now temporarily laid off. Why? Trump's new 25% tariff on foreign-built vehicles. For years, tariffs were just background noise, threats, forecasts, political posturing. But now, companies are done waiting. They're leaving, not as a protest, as a survival move. As of May 27, 2025, the math changed. For some of the biggest American brands, it's now cheaper to leave the US than to stay. Let that sink in. Stellantis imports nearly half of its vehicles sold in the US. With tariffs jumping from 10% to 25%, their production model just collapsed. Their official statement: the new tariffs have made their North American operations unsustainable. And this is just the beginning. If a car is made in the US, there's zero tariff. But for imports, tariffs jumped from a base of 2 to 12% all the way up to 25%. Stellantis called it an immediate operational action. The United Auto Workers Union fired back hard, calling the layoffs a horrifying consequence of reckless tariff wars. Their message: American workers are paying the price for a global fight they never signed up for. This isn't just about labor, it's a manufacturing crisis. And it's not just cars. Apple, a titan of tech, is feeling the heat too. For years, Apple dodged tariffs by spreading production between China and other countries. But that strategy hit its limit. Bloomberg reports that in April 2025, Apple shipped more iPhones from India to the US than from China. For 2 months straight, Indian plants sent 3 million iPhones to the US, while shipments from China dropped by over 75%. This isn't a simple shuffle. It's a full-on migration. Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, said in early May that most iPhones sold in the US would eventually be made in India. Today, that eventually has arrived. The shift is happening now. The reason is simple. Trump's new 25% tariff on all iPhones made outside the US. Apple's CEO Tim Cook made it clear if iPhones sold in America aren't made here, Apple has to pay a 25% tariff. Apple didn't fight this with statements. They fought it with logistics. Factories in Chennai, India, are now doing what Shenzhen, China used to. Assembly lines have shifted. Supply chains rebuilt. The cost and risk of staying in China and shipping to the US became too high, so Apple decided to move. But it's not just phones. The digital retail revolution took a hit too. UK beauty brand Space NK and Canadian lingerie startup Understance have stopped shipping to the US altogether. For now, Shine and Tua are still running, but their US growth has hit a wall. The tariff barrier has shut down the path they relied on to dominate the market. In consumer products, MGA Entertainment, the company behind Bratz dolls and LOL Surprise toys, announced it's moving nearly half its production out of China. This California-based company isn't waiting for another tariff hike. They've already started shifting manufacturing to India, Vietnam, and Indonesia. A spokesperson confirmed 40% of MGA's toy production will relocate in the next 6 months. Why? Because toys made in China are now too expensive to import under Trump's tariffs. This is a big deal. MGA's toys are everywhere. Walmart, Target, Amazon, mass market staples. Soon they'll come from different countries, or maybe not at all. For parents, that means some toys could get pricier and others harder to find. For Walmart and Target, it means reshuffling entire inventories just in time for the holiday rush. Avoiding tariffs isn't a theory anymore, it's a must. In the industrial world, Alcoa, the American aluminum giant, joined the list. Executives confirmed they'll start rerouting Canadian aluminum shipments away from the US and sending more to Europe instead. Alcoa's Canadian smelters used to feed US demand, But new import taxes on Canadian metals made that unprofitable. So now more aluminum heads to the European Union, where trade rules are more stable. At the same time, Alcoa may boost shipments from Australia to the US if those sites face fewer tariffs. They call it optimization, but really it means Canada to US supply is no longer guaranteed. Alcoa, like others, is rewriting its map, all to survive. 5 companies, 5 industries, 5 big shifts, and one root cause: tariffs. What used to be a tool for leverage has turned into a heavy liability. This isn't politics, it's pure business. Balance sheet decisions. Every move is based on costs, forecasts, and where the market opens up. Companies aren't asking what the president meant anymore. They're asking, what will the next tariff hike cost? And where can we move to avoid it? In today's world, the most valuable thing is stability, and the US market, it no longer offers that. Sudden tariff jumps, unpredictable exceptions, and political drama make long-term planning nearly impossible. For consumers, the effects are everywhere, even if you don't always notice. Your phone costs more. That toy is out of stock. Deliveries take longer. Shelves look emptier. The aluminum frame on your new appliance is 10% pricier. And the SUV you wanted, delayed or imported with a higher price tag. Behind every product is a tariff. Behind every tariff is a tough business choice. Some of these changes are permanent. Others might be temporary. But all of them send the same message. American competitiveness isn't guaranteed anymore. Companies don't stay out of patriotism. They move because they have to. When trade policies become harsh, businesses adapt, leave, and rethink their plans.
Yeah, Morgan, that war of words is not over. Elon Musk just posting on his social media site a short time ago. He says this: the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. So Elon Musk sharply critical now of the president's signature economic initiative, his tariffs, also sharply critical of the president's singular legislative goal for the year, his big, beautiful bill.
What's next? More pressure, more shifts, more recalculations, and some companies will quietly follow the path set today. More announcements will come, factories will close, warehouses will reroute, retailers will adjust prices again. They'll call it optimization. But don't be mistaken, this is just the beginning of a long goodbye. What we see today isn't the end. It's the start of something bigger. A new era where doing business in the US means navigating a tariff minefield that changes every week. A new reality where cost beats loyalty, and a new question behind every executive door. Is it still worth it? Today, 5 companies answered that question. The rest, they're watching.